Well, hello, everybody, and welcome,
Hello
welcome,
again.
welcome. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. A nice-looking group of people in here, folks. Yes, there should be more people, but we were yellow coined today, trolled, and now we're yellow coined before we even went live tonight.
We kind of knew that's going to
We
happen.
kind of figured it was going to come. That's the title. It's it's unbelievable what's considered risque now this day and age. How fitting for what we're talking about.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we're not afraid to talk about the issues that can affect all of us, especially as creators and viewers, too. This time, it affects not only creators, it affects everyone on YouTube and internet altogether.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's great to have you all in, but I'm going to ask you guys if we can get the word out. If you could help us right off the bat and let people know what's going on, folks, the more the merrier. When we're yellow coined, no, we're not greedy and worried about the extra 5 cents in ad revenue. It's the push that's a lot different. As you can see, it's not exactly stellar by no fault of anybody in here. That's just the way it works with it. And have 2 in a row, they're going to make us work for it. So if you guys can help us out, it's greatly appreciated. If you can hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff. It'll really help us a lot to combat what's been going on lately, and especially tonight. So right now we're starting off with kind of 2 hands and a leg tied behind our back, but nonetheless, we are hopping like a mother. And great to have you all in here. And we're going to hop into this topic in just a few minutes. This is not going to be a long stream tonight. We're going to jump into it, just give a couple minutes, try and get a few more in here, and then we're going to get right to it. It's a pleasure to have you all. Hope you're doing fantastic. So many great folks in here. My God almighty. It's nice to see us. A sight for sore eyes, if I may say so myself.
Yes, that's right. So we're not going to do the whole, whirlwind of our introductions here, although we are going to say hi to you. We can't go without that. And as Andrew said, it's going to be a shorter live stream than we usually do because we want to get right to the topic, as well as if you want to rewatch that to have a little bit of that value for you available. This is a special edition, as you see, our second live stream today. I decided to put it right in today because the news came out just yesterday, so it's fresh from the oven, so to say. My mom's joke right there. Right there. So we're going to say hi to you. I see Trot W Reacts is here in Grimes. Fine says, man, that's wild. Yes.
How are you, buddy? How are you?
My non-traditional life says, appreciate you taking the risk of yellow coin. Thank you so much. Yes, this one we kind of knew like 100% that this is going to happen because of what we're talking about and because we're talking about YouTube, obviously. That's almost always gets yellow coin and add freedom of speech to that and you get a full Monty of yellow coined live stream. But it is nevertheless important, so if you can share it out, send a link to somebody who you think is interested in First Amendment rights, in free speech and everything that's going on YouTube. We do appreciate that. I think it's going to be interesting to a lot of people because I think a lot of us here were under assumption of a different kind than the court ruling was saying. And we're going to explain you what exactly happened yesterday, how does it affect us, and of course dive into a little bit of a discussion with you guys as well about what you think about all of this. We have Queen Helen Casey joining us. Good to see you. And kudos to my husband, by the way. I like how I sound today on this live stream.
You're so welcome. I haven't changed a thing.
Well,
there you
I
go.
know.
That's the wife for you in a nutshell.
Placebo effect by my husband.
yes.
Yeah.
There. My God almighty, I tell you, she's taking the honesty pill.
Sugar pill.
Whatever makes it work, I ain't arguing.
Lincoln Central Coins is here as well. Bucks Outdoors, Mia Mina joining us. Yes, that's right. Mia Mina, and we have even more specifics on that. So we're going to talk about that from yesterday's ruling. Fresh, hot, like you've seen Andrew's soup Nazi thumbnail. I hope you guys appreciated that.
Don't say that word, for the love of God. What is wrong with you?
Well, we already yellow coined that.
Well, yeah, but it's nice to get it back at some point. So there you go, folks. There, we'll just show the image. If any of you have ever watched Seinfeld, you get where I was going with all this. So there you go.
And at this rate, we'd have to talk in hand puppets and interpretive dance. Yeah, I am training for that, Psychodaki, already.
Yes.
Yeah, I am doing that behind the scenes every day. My First Amendment rights being violated would be the reason I left Twitter. It affects really all their platforms, not just Twitter or YouTube. Computer Chick Productions here as well. No, yes, that's right. And Jay's World here as well. Well. Are you going to say hi to everyone? I don't know. Or did I already say hi?
Not private entities. Yes, Soulwave, exactly. Some good stuff in here already. I'm sorry, I'm just catching some high notes.
We have very smart viewers.
Yes.
I like that.
We are honored to have that, folks. And always remember, I don't think I have to say, because you guys are amazing, just keep it respectful to each other. Not everybody's going to agree. Best way to do is just talk it. You don't have to go and switch sides. And some people will get insulted and say, you don't have to kiss her butt or anything like that. Just keep it respectful. I don't think that's ever a problem in here. But
yeah, and let's not involve politics.
Yes,
we are not on one side or the other. We're in Canada, by the way, so we don't get to vote. So let's not get into political battles. This is not about that. And if there is going to be anything like that, we will have to unfortunately remove it to keep it neutral in the chat.
That's right, folks. Just keep it the topic. So, Pixel P, I love that you are doing this and you know what's coming.
Thank you. Well, we are passionate on what we do. We don't do it just for views or for money or whatever else you want to throw at us. We are passionate on what we do about YouTube and the platform and creators on this. So even with knowing this, we're still going ahead.
But I got to say, folks, and maybe it is a bit with money, I has smarts. I was just studying. Of course you do, Psycho Ducky, and wouldn't have a conversation without you, my friend. It is great to have you in here. Folks, if you guys haven't considered joining yet or know about it, we have memberships. It's 1 week today since we started them. And you can see some folks in here with badges in front of their names. They've become a member. And it's grown a lot faster than we thought it was. And that actually helps us with our free speech, because then we get to do some unlisted streams where we get to talk more candidly. All right, I will pause for this.
Super sticker, super chat, Pixel P, teaching and learning. Thank you so much for that. Hippo super sticker, super chat. That's so cute. I love that. Thank you so much.
That was so in spirit of Easter. You know what it is? It's the stiffness in the club and a smile, but not like a great big bright, like a Southern LA cheerleader like that.
You're doing fantastic, Andrew. Right. I think you're getting it.
That's right. I've been wanting to get it. That's exactly.
That's right. Graceful Spirit and Ray is here to see Rolling Stone Travels. How are you doing? Yes, we're on a little bit later today at 9. By the way, when we did a little questionnaire amongst our members, they said that 9 o'clock-ish is the best hour usually. So you guys are after your dinners or lunches, depending if maybe you're in Australia.
So as I was saying a while ago, folks, just don't forget, if you haven't checked it already, click on that link, folks, and check out the benefits of being a member for the channel. It really helps us out a lot. Plus gives you guys access to all kinds of great things, everything from custom emojis, badges in front of your names, a private Facebook group that's going to be set up this weekend, and some unlisted streams. We're just going to go live with you guys. You know, it could be anything from having a chat about something, blowing off steam, to maybe even just like we're working on thumbnails or a topic or something, and just sharing that with you as we go through
I'm also working on a very special members only, our special merchandise. There's going to be only for members only. So that's something coming up as well. Lots of new perks. We're growing that with you guys. So thank you so much for all of you that already joined.
That's right, folks. It's been absolutely amazing. Like we say, we only got a limited amount of emojis to start with, custom ones. Well, so many joined, we have to make new emojis now, because you guys raced us by a couple of weeks. So
we have over 50 members already, just a week later. So you guys have fantastic.
Most definitely. Great to have you all in here. I got to say hi to all you great folks in just a second. We're going to jump into it, folks, ASAP. We got limited monetization today on our first one. Plus got troll, which else is new. Then we come on here, and we knew it already. We figured we're already limited monetization out of the gate. So if you guys can hit that like button, tweet it out, DM some friends, all that stuff will really help. We're only on for a little bit, but that definitely makes up for it. We're not worried about the bit of money that comes from AdSense. It's the reach. It's literally a third to a fourth, well, probably a fourth now after what happened today. So yeah, we're just picking at numbers, but yeah, just figure like near worst case scenario, and that's pretty much where we're at. So if that sums it up. Alrighty, folks, let's say some hellos in here while you guys are doing that. Let's say hello to Watch Me Do Stuff. How are you? No, I can't. I even now. I got to give you a rock star welcome. We got to have echoes going. You guys are the stars of the show. Not right to do it any other way. So Watch Me Do Stuff. How you doing? We have Throat W Reacts. We have Twosome Rolling Stone Travels in the house. The Trips are in the house. How are you? They are a trip. And the Psycho Ducky is in the house. We have Terrell Chapman Studios with us. That's right. That's right. And a bunch of channels are getting booted right before my very eyes. The list is literally just going like that. So I hope I can catch you on the flip side. Hope you can come back. If it's buffering, or it could be a little bit of external interference, God only knows. Terrell Chapman Studios, look at that. It's unbelievable. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. It's just like brrr, it's just disappearing. Everybody in the chat. Sorry, guys. I was hard to even be able to say hello to you because it was disappearing as I'm counting them off. Supernatural Lost Adventures. How are you? Split Screen Gaming League games and vlogs in the house. Soundwave. There it goes again. Queen Helen Casey. We have Pixelpia Teaching and Learning, who is a member of our channel. Great to see you. My Non-Traditional Life in the house, folks. We got Mia Mina in the house. We got Meme Resells in the house, who's also a member. Great to see you. Mega Millions Mike is in the house. Hope you're doing fantastic. Lynn Antony is in the house. How are you? It's great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. A sight for sore eyes. We have John Spizzo in the house. How are you doing? We got Jeep Kilroy with us, folks. That's right. As well as Jay's World. What is going on? We have Jackknife Finnegan in the house, folks. Jackknife Finnegan is here. We got Graceful Spirit and Ray in the house. We have Found It Buried with us, folks. That's right. As well as Exploration with Erica UK. Excuse me, it just jumped again mid-word. Daily Life and Nature. How are you doing? Great to see you. Oh, and Found It Buried and Exploration with Erica UK, I'm sorry, are also members. It's great to have you guys in here. Daily Life and Nature is in the house. We have Camping with Clammy in the house. How are you? Great to see you. As well as Two Real Geeks is in the house. And a bunch that are disappearing, guys, and I don't know what to say. So I DM'd you the demonetization.
I already answered that.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Already. Mm-hmm. Just trying to stand out. LOL, I can Andrew and Ksenia. Love the poster for the stream. Thank you so much. Yes, it's very Seinfeld-esque, I like to think. I love me some Pusa Studios. How are you, John Spizzo? Hope all is well with you. Great to see you, folks. We're going to jump into it in just a minute. If you haven't hit that like button or tweet it out, please do. We're really up a creek tonight trying to get the stream off the ground with 2 limited monetizations on our back today and everything else that's been going on. But nonetheless, we're here talking about it, and we're looking forward to talking about it. Bucktails Outdoors, how are you? Great to see you. What's up with the First Amendment? Here to find out. How are you? How are you? Great to see you. Daily Life and Nature. Oh my God, anything but that. You're too kind. You're too kind. Wandering Willie, what is going on? Hope you're doing fantastic. Queen Helen Casey as well. Nomad Unbroken Live in the house. Lots of great folks. Lots of great channels. And I think we're going to have a really great discussion. And oh my God.
We have Jay's World joining our Pusa.
Pusa back.
Pusa back. Pusa back. That's right. Jay's World, you got ranched up. Thank you so much for joining our memberships. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure to have you aboard. We have lots of great things coming, and it's our honor to have you with us. So thank you so much for joining us. Jay's World, pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining our channel.
Thank you.
Do appreciate it.
And we have super sticker, super chat, from West Haven, always and forever, who is so cool. Thank you so much for that super stick, super chat. Thank you. Thank you.
Queen Helen Casey. Oh, it's coming. Yeah, exactly. That's the old hit the deck that I like to say. Thank you very much, West Haven. And yes, you're sorry, Andrew. I'll even save you the trouble of typing it. So there you go.
Psychodaki says, faceplant that like button like you would a mugger. That's right.
There you go. That's the spirit. I like it. I like it. I like it. Once again, Jay's World, thank you so much for joining our channel, becoming a member. We do appreciate it. Lots of great things coming the way for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And once again, anybody else, try to join. It says link is not available. Oh, I'll send it to you right here, and I'm going to check it myself to make sure.
I know I realized today that some of the countries it's not available. Like if you are in Jamaica, today Creative Spotlight. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying for people that are outside of the United States, there might not be an option for you, unfortunately. But we love you anyway. We love you even without that.
John Spiesel says, love those lungs. and that's a good one. Never heard that one before. And Lynn, I just tried this link that I posted. Maybe I forgot a letter in the last one. That's why it didn't work, but it's up now. Thank you so very much for considering joining.
And you can always find it right besides our subscribe button. You're going to see a button join, and when you click it, it's not going to join you right away. You're just going to see the two options available for you, and you can check them out and choose the one you want, or leave it for a later time. Thank you for the opportunity. Well, thank you, Jay's World. Remember to refresh that screen so you can use our custom emojis.
That's right. That's right. Once you join, just hit refresh in your browser and then hit the emoji button, and you'll have all those emojis available to you. Ronnie Reviews things. How you doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. Page isn't available. Guys, I'm going to post this in the chat. Can somebody else try it? Just try the link here. Let me see. There we go. Just try it and see. That's very strange. Are you logged into your account, Lynn? You got to be logged into an account. That might be what's causing it. No, it should still see the join though.
Yeah, it works. I don't know. I'm not sure. Try to find it right beside the subscribe button. Maybe direct. Maybe it's glitching. Who knows?
Just go to our home page, and then just you see there's going to be you won't see the customize that. The join button is going to be right over by your subscribe button. You'll see it at the top, and you can just click on it there and try it.
So sorry about the glitches. Sometimes it happens here.
Anything is possible.
That. Yeah.
Anything is possible with YouTube. Yeah, right? It's here to help, right? I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean that. Everything is great with YouTube. Testing. Everything is great with YouTube. My non-traditional life says link is working. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe it could be the browser too. Could be the browser as well. Maybe it's not working with some browsers. I don't know. Maybe with Safari. I don't know. I don't know. There's all kinds of things that can happen.
Yeah, gotta clear your cache or cache or cat. I never know. Clear your cat. Clear your cat.
There you go. Things are working fine now.
Yeah.
Cat gone. Things are working. Experts from UK saying hi to everybody. Hope you're doing fantastic. Laura Bruno, how you doing? It's great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Yep, great. Thank you, Found It Buried, and you guys for checking out the link. Do appreciate it. Just wanted to make sure. You like the one, Queen Ellen? I do too. I picture it. Yeah. Something's wrong here. This is just not working. Oh, there we go. That was the problem all along. It was the damn cat.
Yeah, let's now all together say we love YouTube.
Yes. All hail YouTube. All hail YouTube. There, that should win them some brownie points.
Yes, pop-ups. That might be the reason my non-traditional life. Yeah. Well, let us know. DM us if you have any problems. We always try to solve them as much as we can, although this one is from YouTube, but we try to help you as much as we can on our side. Donald's Toolbox, yes, is here as well. Camping with Clammy, joining us again. Just joined us this week. So welcome back for giving us another chance.
We do appreciate it. We can be off the wall tonight, depending when you hit it. Well, we're always off the wall, just different degrees of it. So you're always welcome to come back and check us out. We do appreciate it. It's great to have you in here. It's great to have you all, folks. And we're going to get into it in just a minute, folks, because the numbers are going so crazy. I don't even know what's going on. Outside interference, YouTube, together, both, who knows?
Aliens,
that could be it as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
All of it.
All of it, and then some.
What matters the most is you guys in the chat and you sharing it out.
Psycho ducky.
No matter what it shows, you are most important people in the chat. Super sticker, super chat,
Oh
super
my
sticker,
God,
super
I didn't
chat,
see
super sticker,
that.
super chat. Hey, you, Urban Explorer, thank you so much for that super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much. Urban Explorer is one of our members as well. So thank you so much to Urban Explorer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there you go, Exploration with Erica UK with the Xenia super chat clap and me covering my ears emojis. There you go. Philip, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
We never know. We never know. World is world. It will keep spinning even after us. That's right. Phil Cockrams here. Good to see you. John Sprizzle, love me some Pusa Studios. Carolina Bass Hunter. It may be aliens control YouTube. You never know.
I could get behind that one. That's
We
right.
love YouTube.
That's right.
You guys-
All hail YouTube.
Disclaimer,
Everything is okay on YouTube. Nothing is wrong on YouTube. Just keep saying that.
You know how people put disclaimers in descriptions of their videos? We should put that one. Disclaimer. We love YouTube.
And there's Jay's World using his first emoji after he just became a member, folks, about not even 5 minutes ago. There he goes. And he went with Andrew plugging his ears.
And
And I appreciate that. That caught my eye. Jay's World. I'm watching. I'm liking. I'm watching. I'm liking. I love where you're going with
He's
this.
on your side.
That's right. I have very few on my side when it comes to that. So I do appreciate
Let
it.
me plug in some emojis of mine. There you go.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There was.
Hike with Mike. The sun always rises. That's so true. Time is short for me today. Split screen gaming. Just happy for you to jump in and say hi. Thank you.
And because everything is always good on YouTube, nothing going wrong. There you go, folks. We've had nobody in the chat. Nobody in the chat since we went live all the way to 9 p.m. So the first 10 minutes never happened, didn't exist, and then we shot all the way up to 28. So nobody was here. It was just a dream sequence. So if you thought you were here watching, you were wrong. You were wrong. You were somewhere else.
And that's why we always talk about aliens here.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're on.
Click that like button, share it out. If you haven't just yet, DM your friend. Let us know if you send a friend our way, and we'll shout you out as well. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Firewolf Studios, thank you so much. Click that like button. Yeah, Firewolf Studios, thank you so much. Do appreciate it, guys. And if you're a member of this channel, put the emojis of me clapping hands or Andrew covering his ears. Matters which side are you on. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Urban Explorer, keep it up. That's right, keep it up. Thank you so much for that. Super sticker, super chat, appreciate it so much. And Jenny O'Brien says she's on your side. I don't know about that. That flip flops every time. Mountain View Turning, hello, how are you? And he still is covering his ears, guys. We did it. Thank you so much, Firewolf and Urban Explorer. Thank you.
Pixel Pia always brings the balance to the
Yes.
table. God love her. She always does. She always does. Yeah. And Xenia, because she has to.
Yeah.
It hurts her every time she has to do that.
Well, I must say, though, that you were the one creating the emojis. So you were nice enough, without even me mentioning anything, creating these emojis. I was so surprised. I was impressed.
I was thinking of the people that will use
I
them.
even love you even more now, so
Aww.
yeah.
Aww. Love you too.
I love you too.
Alrighty, folks, I think it's about time to get into the conversation. It's great to have you in. Once recap, folks, if you just came in here, it's an absolute fantastic pleasure to have you. We had yellow coin today when we went live. We had yellow coin tonight before we even went live. We've had trolls galore, and YouTube is not pushing us much. So if you guys can help us out and let people know, please, I implore you to hit the like button. It only takes 2 seconds. And also, folks, tweet it out. Makes a world of difference. If you got friends you can invite, please do. We promise to treat them well and tell them that you sent them so we can give you a big thank you for
Like
that.
Sweeney Todd, who tagged I don't know how many people in the tweet he did, and everybody is retweeting it. So love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much, Firewolf Studios. Thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. over that thing. So, thank you. See, the 4-year-old loves it. Thank you so much. Hello, the 4-year-old.
Hi. I'm not smoking. Hi.
We need a squirrel super sticker. I know. We need a squirrel super sticker, Andrew. That's what Supernatural Lost Adventures is saying.
Barrel Boy Woods, how are you? You're just in time to break me away from that conversation. Great to see you. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Barrel Boy Woods is in the house. Folks, we're about to get it on our way. I just want to see here, folks, I want to give a big hi to all the people who have joined our channel. Urban Explorer, great to see you. Pixelpia, Teaching and Learning. Memes Resells. Jenny O'Brien. Jay's World, who just joined a couple of minutes ago. Found It Buried. Exploration with Erica UK. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're about to get this show on the road, folks. If you haven't considered joining, I hope you'll check it out and see what we have to offer. It really does help out our channel a lot. It helps us do new things, better things on here. Lets us expand our horizons. And with all going on YouTube, lets us be able to go on unlisted ones with you guys and be able to talk about things that normally get yellow coined here. We can discuss whether it's joking around or stuff that's more serious that we can't cover in the day-to-day ones. And you never know, like I say, we might go live sometimes just when we're building, making thumbnails, getting a show ready, all that kind of stuff, and kind of can answer questions while we're doing it. I'm a little nervous because I'm not used to people watching me while I'm doing stuff. But I'm always open to adjusting.
We can practice with me watching over your shoulder. Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat. Firewolf Studios is on fire. Thank you so much. Yes, reminding us to click that like button and share it out. Thank you so much for that. Super Sticker, Super Chat, Firewolf Studios.
Thank you so very much for that. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. You are awesome. I want to say a great big hello to Pumpkin Patches in the house. How are you? And I Pick My Butt is in the house. Great to see you. And Hike with Mike, it's great to see you. It's great to see you all. No meds, just rest.
I wish I would give some antibiotics to that.
We're letting it run its course. That's why you went and got proper advice. So
I'm not a doctor, but it's a bronchitis, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll keep it as updated. I'm thinking about you.
I thought Found It Buried had a wrench. Found It Buried did have a wrench, but then when he became a member of our channel, he wanted us to remove it so he could have the green name showing here on the desktops and that. So that was by request from Found It Buried.
So if you are a member, you want to be green instead, let me know. I will remove it, but I can tell you it is safer when we do have some attacks here to be in blue. Yeah.
No, there you go, folks. There you go.
Oh
my God almighty.
What is going on out there? Firewolf Studios, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Firewolf Studios. You are so cool. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much.
Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. My God, you're very kind tonight. Thank you so very much for that. Sorry, in the middle. That thumbnail is hilarious. Looks like Andrew saying spicy meatballs. Yes. I can't say the name, even though Xenia said it blatantly a while ago. But if you've ever watched Seinfeld, it's influenced from the soup blank. That's right, folks. There you go. The soup blank. No soup for you. Well, it's no First Amendment for you. There you go. So.
And we have Terrell Chapman Studios saving Andrew's ears.
Do appreciate it. Terrell Chapman Studios, thank you for bringing stability to all this. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I can turn green just by eating bad sushi. That's right, Winnipeg Car Life. Great to see you, by the way. Always a pleasure to have you. And yes, that is a good way to turn green for sure. If you do it with the membership, at least you won't get the nauseousness with it. That's about the only thing we can offer that's different. Everything else, I don't know, maybe we give us the cramps with it too. It's possible. We've been known to cause the cramps in some people, so there you go.
Well, we guys are going to jump into our subject in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. Your last chance to grab that coffee for our discussion here about the First Amendment and what happened yesterday. Breaking news, so to say, hot and heavy.
All right. You don't hear those two together very often, but we're all going to smile politely. That's what we do when Xenia says one of them.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I think it's about time to get into it. You ready to do it on?
Yep.
Alrighty, folks, so there you go. Well, you know what our title is tonight. YouTube, no First Amendment for you. That's right. There you go, folks. There you go. All right, Chris, there you go.
Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Firewolf Studios, thank you so much. You are so cool, and you jumped right into before we get all serious. So thank you so much for that super sticker, super chat. Thank you.
That's right. We do appreciate the support, guys. But while we're talking about the serious part of that, we won't be doing the super sticker, chat chant, and that just to let you know. That's why we try to get them all at the beginning and have the fun there. But once we do jump in the topic, we are going to keep it a little more on the ground. We do appreciate all of you guys' support, but if you put them up, Xenia's going to save them, and then at the end, she's going to go, as I like to call it, batshit crazy. So there you go, folks. There you go. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Yes, Philip. Exactly. I love it. So yeah, you don't have to go bat crazy yet.
No. I'm always in that state.
All right, you want to kick it off?
Yeah.
And you're going to be following on with you, right?
Oh, well, yeah, back and forth, because it's only a couple of them. So.
Yeah, just so I know where to. Okay.
Yeah, it's in this text here.
All right.
So we are going to talk about freedom of speech and the court ruling from yesterday. Court rules the First Amendment doesn't apply to YouTube. Guys, we have so many discussions among the creators about what is not allowed, what is allowed on YouTube, and especially about First Amendment rights and freedom of speech. Especially how sensitive it is, we understand, especially for U.S. citizens. First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, all of that. You're allowed to express yourself. Well, maybe not so much online. And especially on YouTube, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. For those of you that are outside of the United States, I will let you know what freedom of speech declares. If we can show the next slide.
Yep.
And I think it's even next one. There you go. So freedom of speech declares that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media, regardless of frontiers. Basically, smart words, but all it means that you should be able to express whatever you want, no matter where it is and no matter what kind of type of platform or setting it is. That is one of the
shall not be hindered in any shape or form.
It's one of the basic rules, so to say, for United States. Definitely super important for a lot of people. Let's dive into it. We're going to be talking about PragerU versus YouTube, a court case, and to let you know a little bit of background about what was going on and what is PragerU if you never heard about it. PragerU is a non-profit educational and media organization. It is short for Prager University, although it is not university in its classical thinking. It doesn't give out any degrees or anything like that. It's a non-profit organization, and its mission is to provide conservative viewpoints and perspective on public issues that it believes are often overlooked. So, as you can see, it is a little bit more on the conservative side of the politics. The organization is trying to fight back after Google demonetized its videos and made them inaccessible in a restricted mode. And you might say, well, what does that mean? What is restricted mode? That is a setting that YouTube can apply to your videos, and it does apply if it does have already mature subjects. So if you, for example, mark your videos as only mature audience only, it will be in restricted mode automatically. It is a setting often used on public computers in schools and libraries, and it means that when it's activated by a user, it makes unavailable certain age inappropriate content. Obviously schools and libraries, like we said, any businesses, or most of the time, any big corporations have all the net on restricted mode. And on average, it's about 2% of users view YouTube through restricted mode throughout.
Which I think that number's a bit low myself.
I think so too.
I was very surprised to see that, and I don't know. We have to take it because the only number we got, but I have a feeling that's a bit low.
Yeah, and as a viewer, you can change those settings literally in the settings of your Google, of your YouTube watching experience, if that's what you would like to do. But just be aware that it will restrict you from seeking, finding in searches or discovery a certain type of videos. And as we all know, it's not always 100% accurate.
And as that said, for the organizations like Jenna just mentioned, that's all set through server base, through the network guys. And there's no way to usually reverse them on them. So they have no chance of, like an individual doing it. Only the administrators themselves can change it for universities, schools, libraries, etc.
That's right. PragerU, the lawsuit that we're going to be talking about, filed their motion for the lawsuit last year at the end of August, in fact. It argued that YouTube's decision to place more than 100 videos in restricted mode and flag them as dangerous infringed on its free speech right. Because YouTube is acting as a public forum, it advertises itself as a public forum. It must allow individuals and organizations to exercise their free speech rights. And that's what they claim at the end of August. It was a pretty long battle. 100 videos. So some of them, they did apply right away, appealed, so to say, the decision, as we always have the option to appeal different decisions on YouTube here, as a yellow coin, for example. And so some of them got reversed, but majority still got demonetized and will still only be able to be found under restricted mode only. Now, what happened during this couple months and yesterday? Finally, the ruling by the court was set. And it said that YouTube is a private forum and the First Amendment does not apply. Now, there have been a couple cases before where already it has been said that First Amendment doesn't apply to private institutions. But this one was specifically regarded to YouTube. Lots of people do perceive YouTube as a public forum, as a public entity, so to say, similar as to Twitter or Facebook. But in fact, all of them, including YouTube, still is a private business, a private entity, and therefore a rule of free speech doesn't apply to that. What it said is, despite YouTube's ubiquity and its role as a public-facing platform, it remains a private forum, not a public forum, subject to judicial scrutiny under the First Amendment. Thank you so much, Juliet.
Oh my God, thank you, Juliet. Thank you.
And this is, by the way, the exact quotes from the ruling. We have the full ruling, the full file of the court decision. And as always, we're going to be adding the appropriate resource links down below in description after the live stream, so you'll be able to go and check it out by yourself. The courts specify even further that PragerU's claim that YouTube's censored speech faces a formidable threshold hurdle. YouTube is a private entity. Once again, the free speech clause of the First Amendment prohibits the government, not a private party, from bridging speech. And it refers to different kind of court cases from before that already stated about the private entities. The constitutional guarantee of free speech is a guarantee only against abridgment by government, federal, or state. PragerU does not dispute that YouTube is a private entity that operates its platform without any state involvement. And therefore, they disregarded this motion altogether. And that's right. That's what it means. What it means for us, what it means for YouTube. That means that YouTube can censor whatever it wants. YouTube can filter all of its content. YouTube can push its algorithm to have a preference to certain type of content and shadow certain type of content they don't like. It is a private company, and private company has a right to its own private opinion. They use us as creators to express it, but it's still their home, their hub, that they have a power of, and the freedom of speech doesn't apply to them whatsoever.
I want to welcome Formal Fanatic. How are you? And he puts, happy advertisers make happy creators. And that is the other side of the argument right there. That is a big part of it. And that is the world is still adjusting. The world is still adjusting to the global. And yes, we've had a global market for a while, but it was still heavily predominant sectors based within countries. And it's understandable what these arguments are going on, and this is just the beginning of many. Let's face it, we are in the Wild West. The world is reinventing itself, and it's going to be very hard to see what is acceptable in this new world as far as governing laws over where a company is based over where its consumers are, etc., and what constitutes as free speech, because free speech was very easy to control up until recently. Mm-hmm. It's a great concept. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. The thing was, it was just easier to monitor up until recently. It was very controlled areas and free, but not so free, because I mean, most of them, to get any kind of a voice, you had to go through a major controlling outlet to get your voice out there to the masses. Let's call it for what it was: TV, newspapers, radio. There wasn't much else. I mean, a new newspaper will also call it like printed word as well, but that all falls into the same category as newspaper. There's a lot of gatekeepers there. And then all of a sudden, as the internet evolved, we had no more gatekeepers. And then comes how far is the Wild West is acceptable. Another big thing is to realize is that the world has many facets to it, many countries who deem levels of what they should have as free speech. And where do you go that it's keeping the majority of them happy? We definitely don't want to cater to one side or the other where it becomes too lopsided that there's no control into it, but we also don't want it to fade away. And right now, I'm not talking about the First Amendment in the States. I'm talking about a worldwide effort to find some sort of balance where advertisers are happy being on here, because as it's noted, a lot of times we forget that Google is a private entity and it is there to make money. And us as creators on here are on here to make money. You got to remember every tech talk when we're talking, when people are asking about what's my CPM and what's it worth and what am I doing in that. Well, to get good CPM, we're playing right into the hands of the advertisers that we want to keep happy. But how far does it go till you have no more voice left on here? Like, look at tonight, the topic we're covering. We're limited monetization before we went even live just for discussing it. This is not the first time. And I don't think we're saying anything too risque or anything like that. It's gotten to the point where, like for this scenario, where the algorithm, where YouTube looks at it and says, well, no company wants to be connected to anything that's disparaging to the platform. But we're really not doing that. We're just discussing an event that's going on. So where is the balance going to come from? I think it's going to be tons and tons and tons of court cases. I think this is the first of many, and it's going to get even more higher profile. And I believe it's going to get to the point where different countries are going to have varying opinions between themselves, and that's going to have discretion into who actually even gets to represent the true values of what's wanted for YouTube. Which ones do get to come to the playing table? So.
Yes, I agree, definitely. We already discussed the way this algorithm works, and some of the studies that have been made in the way that YouTube are preferring certain type of content against the other. There have been studies made with regards to the political content that has been posted, as well as authoritative voices of news agencies, as YouTube itself says, which they also have stated that they prefer more authoritative voices and the spread of the news that way. I'll post a link in the chat. I don't know if Andrew is going to show it or not, but if you're not, you can guys check it out. This is analysis of YouTube's political influence through recommendations. We have shown that before. And I just popped into my mind just now. We talked about that before, but what you can see in that link, it's an interactive map that basically is going to show you the way YouTube recommends different types of news agencies compared to individual YouTubers that do reactions, commentaries on news, political events, etc. And as you will be able to see in this map, it definitely skews towards a certain type of political side, so to say. Yep. Now, is it right? Is it wrong? As we said, we are in Canada. As regards to states, it doesn't impact us directly, but you can definitely see the preference towards certain side and not neutrality, and not an open platform, as it maybe sometimes claims it is.
That's the thing, and that's the hard part too. Like, I mean, right now, the States is the most predominant market for YouTubers for us all. You want a heavily based U.S. population following you for the best chance to be recommended the most on YouTube. That's a simple fact. You want United States, Canada, Australia, UK. Those are the bigger countries that gives them higher CPM rates on it because the advertisers pay more in those areas for ads. Therefore, YouTube wants to put the content that's getting the best push in there. And that's where it comes to draw. I'm wondering sometimes if the push gets too far for free speech, if YouTube and them are eventually going to pull pin, and it's going to be like the early days of the internet all over again, when all the tech companies started heading to places like the Virgin Islands and stuff like that to try and get a shelter of protection to be able to have more of a leniency to do what they want. Whether, once again, this is not if we're right or wrong or if what they're doing is right or wrong. That's just speculation I always have in my head. I mean, if Silicon Valley will actually start to shift, if it feels it's getting too much pressure from within, because it understands that it's a U.S.-based company, brick and mortar. But business-wise, I mean, it's a worldwide global economy. And on a private entity business, you don't say. There you go. There, I was wondering if you were going to come in, WTF, Mike. I was wondering.
Well, what Nomad Unbroken Live here is bringing a good point to this. That's another thing is YouTube has to respect that it's global.
Yep.
And this is a thing that maybe it should be argued, I'm not a lawyer, but should be argued on the court from that side is, yes, it is private entity, and we all know that, but it doesn't have an impact only on America. It is a global format, and I think it's just because there haven't been really a precedent of having such a monopoly of Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube that basically is monopolizing all platform altogether. There haven't been really analysis of impact on it, and I really think that the rules should be adjusted towards the global effect it has, because it definitely has it has a huge impact on the whole world. No matter if you're talking about economy, politics, it impacts everything. So we can't just think within regards of the ruling from United States. It should be definitely rethought for sure.
It has to become almost its own world body into it at some point. I'm going to bring up the Arab Springs. That's probably going to get us even more yellow monetized. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm just going to say, even to the point of those, was heavily based on YouTube and Facebook that brought about those kind of movements and stuff like that. The power in here is so immense and has never been seen in mankind before. TV can't compare with it. It's unbelievable. You have channels in here that get more views on a daily video than some of the major TV shows could get on their season finales and that.
Look at the Super Bowl. Got only 100 million views. Yeah. Mr. Beast gets hundreds of millions of views on his videos. One video, and there's a Super Bowl with 100 million.
Look what's flying by in the scroll.
Yeah.
Aha! A video from the 80s has hit 1 billion views. Just sitting there, something that was written long before the internet even became a mainstream thing. It's over 1 billion views. That kind of power has never been hit before by the major networks. No radio station, no conglomerate, no closed society or open society has ever been able to achieve that. And that's because we're all under one umbrella. And that even includes where heavily censorship companies block access to this. There's still hundreds of thousands from their countries sneaking around in vain to get on, and are doing it, to get their voices heard. So that's talking about the power that's on here when people will go to that lengths in those countries just to be able to have their voice heard. That says something. Stubbs, how are you? Great to see you.
The Trips here says that basically that we have to get the genie back in the bottle. Internet has been such a wild west for a long time. No rules, do whatever you want. And I think it's way too late. It's way too late to try now to hurdle, and try to contain something that is have spread overboard. I really don't think even YouTube knows exactly how much impact it has and how many videos it has and what does it exactly do? What does it AI do? There's so many things already independently working, even besides the company itself. It's hard to contain it. It's too big.
It's at this point in time, and this has never, I don't think, been able to have been said in the history of mankind till now. You could take away everything else that we think of materialistic communications-wise in the world. And as long as you left YouTube, not even the internet, YouTube, we would be okay. We would be able to get by. It is that strong. Nothing else on the planet does. or has ever had that kind of an impact. We would be able to function with just this one platform. We would be able to function with it because we'd at least be able to communicate with each other, to instruct each other, to connect with each other, not connect as in channel to channel, but connect as human to human to build up whatever needed to be built up at the time. It's unbelievable. This is unprecedented. Did you hear that, YouTube? You can take back the coin. I said you're the most important, for the love of God. Take back the yellow coin. Give me green for that. I deserve it after saying that for you.
And the problem is, as my non-traditional life is stating here, that mostly it's us creators who are aware of all of these things, like COPA, like First Amendment, all the conspiracy theories and all of the things that are going within the YouTube, because we are within it. We are deep into it. But the regular viewer really is not aware of it. So it's our responsibility, having this platform, make people, the regular viewers, aware of what's going on. It's only this way how it's possibly going to be happening. The same as with the rule of the privacy law that we were just talking last week, that is quietly being changed while nobody even thinks about it. And that's exactly what we talk about. It's still time to contact your senator, your MP, and make changes before the ruling passes. We talked about that last week, and the same here.
I agree with you. WTF Mike says you could say the same for Facebook and Instagram. Yes, you could, and you could, yeah, for sure. I just that YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world after Google. I believe it's so heavily instated in people to come for resources as a mental, like I brought up the example of my son the other week. His wiper broke in his car. He didn't go to Google even to try to figure out how to do it when he had to change it because of different brackets. He didn't know how to. He went to YouTube. That's just the go-to now if you want something done. Don't go search it in Google and read about it. Search it on YouTube first and have it shown to you. Then if that doesn't work out, then head over to the other ones. Facebook and them, of course, for messaging and that. But I think it's just the mentality of it, that go-to for a problem. That, I think it's like a lot of us that grew up with the yellow pages. YouTube is like the yellow pages now. It's just like a no-brainer. I got to look up something. I need something. Off I go to YouTube for it. So I think that would be the only thing that would separate the two of them. They're all big, and yes, they could handle it. Just the mindset towards because YouTube is, that's the truth, folks. It is the second biggest search engine in the world. After Google, it is right onto YouTube. YouTube diploma. Yeah, true.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, people are so smart now and everything. After watching the video. But Andrew is right. It is the second highest search engine, and it is owned by Google. So really, it's all the same anyway. As you know, if you search something on Google, the video answers are going to come up first. It's all tied into it, and we got to think about that. There's 2 billion people and counting using it every day. Yep. That's enormous amount of people. I can't even fathom, even to perceive, how much is it? It's hard to think about it, Little Fish in the Kitchen says that is so true. We go straight to YouTube to figure how to do anything. It's true. It really is. When we were buying stuff for our studio and that, everything I was wanting to get, if I see it on Amazon, at first right away went over to YouTube, look for the reviews onto it, see what people were talking about it, demonstration after demonstration. Is it hard to use? How am I going to mount this? Go over and look for the one that talks about mounting it. It was just, you do it subconsciously, And I put the link in the chat of our live stream last week that we talked about internet censorship, and the thing that you still can change as a voter in US. You still can change this. So if you didn't watch our last week's information about what is changing about privacy, please do check it out. This ruling seems to contradict rulings about public pages, elected official pages on Facebook, saying they can't delete any comments or block anyone. Well, see, platform is platform, and individual. So individual as a public figure can't do it. That's one thing. And then the other thing is a platform that is a private company. So we're talking about business against individual, and therefore it doesn't contradict. It is two completely different issues there. And as I was telling in the chat, although yes, this court have been historically overturning different type of decisions, the rulings about this applying to private entities have been there for decades. It just hasn't been out specifically for YouTube.
That's right. It hasn't been challenged or it's brought up into it. And
Exactly.
stated,
So there's more likely that it is going to stay as it is. Now, they are appealing it and running the same lawsuit in California, so we'll have to see how it works there. But it definitely doesn't look well considering the previous history of other court decisions.
And it would be hard, for them to let this go right now based on the fact about the law they are bringing in, which is going to make them totally liable for it. It's like you're allowed to, everybody's allowed to talk whatever they want. And by the way, YouTube, you're totally responsible if it all goes wrong. It's just the more I think about it, the more it's just such a bizarre concept. That should be the other law dealt with, really. It's the biggest thing. JDS, what's going on? Welcome. How are you tonight? Great to have you in here.
Now, the lawsuit here did comprise of two parts, which is not too known and publicized fact, which interested us a lot. Now, they did file the lawsuit against this act of free speech, but the other part of it also was about false advertising, and I think this is going to be pretty neat and interesting to us as creators. So let's see what did they say. So PragerU also moved forward with the Lanham Act false advertising claim against YouTube that unfortunately got dismissed by the court. But let's see what they stated. The court ruled the following: YouTube's, I don't even know the word,
braggadocio.
About its commitment to free speech constitutes opinions that are not subject to the Lanham Act. Lofty but vague statements like everyone deserves to have a voice and that the world is a better place when we listen, share, and build community through our stories, or that YouTube believes that people should be able to speak freely, share opinions, foster open dialogue, and that creative freedom leads to new voices, formats, and possibilities are classic non-actionable opinions or puffery. I like the word puffery used here by the court. Similarly, YouTube statements that the platform will help one grow, discover what works best, and give one tools, insights, and best practices for using YouTube's products are impervious to being quantifiable and thus are non-actionable puffery. The district court correctly dismissed the Lanham Act claim. Basically, in simple words, what it means that all the stuff that they talk about YouTube platform being, do what you want here, build your channel, create your own things, we help you with the tools.
It's a safe place.
Yeah, it's all a theater of puffery.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean nothing. It's just used as a promotion tool.
Yep.
It's plain words that doesn't mean anything. And we shouldn't really be taking them seriously. Well, basically, that's what the court says. Yep. And if you read the ruling, it's just the words that they chose to state this decision. Puffery.
And My Non-Traditional Life says puffery is a very popular word in contract business law. My business law professor kept using it in a technical term.
Yeah, but exactly the way they decided to use it here, just read it again and think about you as a creator, help one grow. Wouldn't we want to believe it? Isn't that what we think YouTube does? Discover what works best. Search engine, discovery, suggestions, give one tools, insights, and best practices. Our YouTube studio should help us. Well, it is there, but how much is really helping us? It's one thing. How much it is really done by the algorithm and the ones that are fiddling with it is another question. And therefore, it is not really viable. It is just words. That's what basically court says. It is all just words. So despite this dismissal, PragerU is still fighting to free speech in a parallel lawsuit in California, as I was saying, while considering its next steps in this federal case. So we'll have to see what the other court decisions are stating, but this definitely is alarming. It is not super surprising, but it's very specific to YouTube, which is the first time it has ever happened. So now, if you guys have anything to add to this, do you think YouTube has a place for free speech? Is this the right place for free speech? Is internet really a place for free speech? Do we deserve it here? I don't know. I see a lot of people throwing a word of free speech a lot on Twitter and on YouTube, using it as a gateway to harassment, to bullying, to expressing insultive and not constructive criticism. I really don't think, not being American, but I really don't think that's a proper practice of free speech altogether.
But that's like anything else. There's always going to be some that manipulate what's supposed to be a good thing, and they'll take it and use it in their own hands. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the world we live into, as sad as it is.
Construction Crony said the freedom of speech is probably the single most important freedom we have. It's dying so sadly. I think we need to visit compassion and empathy. Yes.
WTF? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. WTF, Mike? I like what you wrote here. Come down to it. Who really runs YouTube? I think it is us. We the people, all of us. Without us, it does not exist.
I disagree.
Unfortunately, I agree with you in principle, but what generates their company, that we're the ones that keep it running for them. We have no input when it comes to what constitutes as law, rules, consequences, etc. on here, and especially with enforcement. We have no input into it. To generate their revenue, to keep them running as a company, 1,000%. We all go away. They got nothing. And that's exactly how they look at it, that we're here no matter what, so they're free reign to do what they want. And that's as simple as looking at the terms of service when we join here. Not one thing, not one item in that whole list of jargon that goes on and on and on is there to protect you. Not 1 gram of it. It is all there for the sole purpose of YouTube, the platform itself, the business, of course, Alphabet, and nothing to do with us in any shape or form. And that's the sad part of it. That's the big... I know I get some dislike from it, but I've said it. That's what I was saying the other night, and I still stand by it. I would pay to be on here because I would want to then be on as a contractor, as a media contractor, whatever you call it. No, it's not for making gigantic profit. I would want 2 things. Protection from here. Protection that allows me free to be able to do what I have to do. Think of it like a mall. Somebody opens a mall and then you have all kinds of other stores open inside of it. I would want to be protected in that way. That's their responsibility to make sure that area that we're into is properly run and maintained, so I'm able to do. And I know some people don't want to think of YouTube as a business. I'm not saying we all have to think of it as a business per se of making money, but you're on here and you spend a lot of time doing what you do. That your craft is protected so you can create as intended by YouTube's original guidelines and not have to bother with the mess inside. Secondly, proper push from it. What that means is because by doing that, I don't want them, and some people said, if you start paying for it, then it's not going to be fair. You already can pay for it. You can buy advertising through YouTube at any given time. So that's already an option. It's more on the security side that it would be there onto it. Because then that would give us a say. Because if I'm paying a nominal fee to be into it, I got to have some say into it. I got to support myself into it. Creators Union, they're trying it. It will never go through. No, they'll never touch a union with a 10-foot pole. They'd rather collapse the company, unfortunately. Just the term union. We'd have to be like freelancers. Which is done by a lot of big media outlets in there. They do it. This would be on a much larger scale. That's why the other thing that I brought up too was to have everybody that's on YouTube have to register with a credit card. And that got me. I got to say that one because they're like, nobody, I'd never give them my information. Well, if you take AdSense from here, they already have your information. You've given it to them. If you give a super chat, you've already given your information to them. So I just want to say that as a side part. That's always been my part about it, because then accountability cleans up most of the problems on here because there's a name attached to it. Look at even Facebook for all its issues. There's still at least a name for the most part. And if there's not, at least it's more of a delinquent account, which lets, it's easier to track down, does not have any meaning. Also, that would cut down on botting a lot because you can't, I would have it that views are there. If you don't register, you're welcome to view. You can't comment. You can't flag. You can't interact in any shape or form. You're welcome to view as long as you want. And then YouTube would have to come up with a better system for monitoring the rules if anything did look like it was trying to screw with the system to handle it. And they could do that by extending the length of what counts as a view. Because by doing that, you'd be getting better views, so you wouldn't be worried about every view mattering so much. You'd be more enticed to go after the better views. And maybe they count it, 10 minutes as a view or whatever. I don't know. That one's a little up in the air. But just something that would be able to straighten it out more. If your majority's from 3 countries and all of a sudden you get 9,000 views from the middle of Uganda, well, something's wrong, and they'll remove it without you getting your channel in trouble, or you having to deal with the consequence of it, or you getting yellow coined, or you getting shadow banned. It would also open them up with like the words you can't say on YouTube and stuff like that. Well, then they would have to share them with us. It wouldn't be such a concrete wall because they want us on as creators. Even if they didn't tell us exactly why, for instance, when you were doing something, it would tell you, highlight the word, well, this couldn't be said or that, and at least you would know, than just shooting at the wall and seeing what sticks. I still believe there's all kinds of benefits into it. Maybe there's a better way of doing it, but anything would be better than the way it runs now because we have nothing to protect us. We have nothing on here on YouTube. We are as empty as the walls when it comes to having any kind of representation on here. Everything we signed on the dotted line coming on here was all for YouTube and Alphabet Corporation and nothing for us. Wait, I can advertise on YouTube, so advertise on the thing that advertise on me. That shut the place down. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, you can do it anytime. They're all set up for it. It's some have done it. It's mostly recommended for people who are selling a product or something on here where you're going to get a monetary return onto it to make it worthwhile. It works the same as like we do for our business side where we advertise in Facebook during wedding seasons and stuff like that. We pay and you set your target audience. Like for us, we set it mostly in the Montreal and just a slider and you come out of the city. You pay more for the wider the reach. And no, that's already there.
And I just mentioned to WTF Mike too, they're just rolling out on YouTube, starting with bigger YouTubers. You're going to be able to sell your own bids for your videos as a bigger YouTuber. So instead of them putting random ads on your videos, you're actually going to be able to sell it to the advertisers that you want to see on your videos. It's just a starting point, but it's going towards what you're just saying.
And it's about time because they gave it to the network televisions when they came in. Yeah. And shit on the ones that built their company for them. So once again, there's this argument that, YouTube only cares about the big YouTubers. No, they don't. They treated them worse than anybody because those guys gave up their livelihoods and made this their livelihood to get no more benefits, no more help than what we get. So they're finally throwing them something they should have given them long before they even gave it to the networks. Pitiful.
I just wanted to add what WTF Mike was saying before. In fact, we did talk about, when we talked about the revenue that YouTube had in the last year, which is in like $34 billion just for YouTube. We also mentioned that with regards to that statistics, 1% of YouTubers earn 75% of what YouTube gets from creators. So that just to give you perspective, if 99% of YouTubers would be gone today, that 1% will still earn 75% of all revenue that YouTube has. And therefore, there is not so much care about the smaller YouTubers because they're just not as much profitable. They're there for numbers. That's what it is.
I'm going to get real for a second. And this is, you can take it with a grain of salt or not. There's somebody else, these changes have been coming in saying, well, I'm not going to run with that, and I'm going to show them in that. YouTube wants you to go, and they're very happy to see you go, and they want to refine it down. There's way too many channels, way too much messes going on. It would be easier for them to corral with smaller numbers. They're more than happy to see you take the door. As long as you stay a viewer, they're fine with it. They have the profits that's been listed and shared shows you they're not going anywhere anytime soon. As Xenia just mentioned once again, it's a small majority generating the most of that profit because remember, for them to get it, they have to be generating the most of it. So they can make fine with losing basically most of us on here and still walk into work every day and no problem having a job and no trouble turning a profit. That's why it's important to have to make a decision to be on here. Either going to conform with what they do or look at other options because there's only one option to be on here is to go with what they want. Bucking the system is not going to help. And that's just a simple fact of it all. There's just too many people on here And it actually is more of a headache for them to have so many people on here. More chances for something to end up in Forbes they don't want. It's easier to govern a smaller group that they can control. So it's not very kumbaya-ish. That's why I hear, I miss the old days of YouTube and that. It's not the old days of YouTube anymore. It's as simple as that. The city you live into, the state you live into, the province we live into, the country you live into, it's not that 40 years ago anymore. It just is what it is, and that's the simple truth of all of it. That's what I found drove some channels down, was too busy worrying about trying to fight the system. The system. I always compare it to a cat. There's a cat in the corner. You ever have this? This is why I don't like cats. I find them too bizarre. And they're planning their escape, and you're watching TV, and the cat's in the corner, and you catch it out of the corner of your eyes, and it's edging and looking and watching, and it takes about 40 minutes to get it over with. And then finally, flies by you wide open. And you don't even know it's because you're watching TV. Well, that's exactly what's happening on there. I'm not trying to say you don't. I'm just saying it straight facts of how YouTube looks at us. And if there's no use. It's okay to get angry with stuff, and it's okay to want to change stuff. But if you're going to hold your channel in flux while you get angry about all these things and go down, you might as well just give up, because it's not going to change. It's just not going to change. They have way too many. And sometimes, people said, we should all get together and like, exactly just told you the number, how small of a group it is that's earning the majority of the money. Even if everybody else went, they would lose, 25%. It's not going to ruin them. Their profits will go down a bit, and that'll be it. A cat in the corner, huh? Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know what I mean by it. And it's sometimes it's obsessing over the things that can't change is what drives people to forget about taking care of their channel. So be very careful whether it doesn't consume you to the point that you don't do anything on here. And it does happen. I've seen it happen lots of times. Lots of channels that I see leftover messages that are gone. So something to think about.
Yes, and it is the latter, Albella. We are on a private platform, and therefore to us applies what it applies to them. Now, Jenny was saying, different freedom of speech rules in different countries. We can remember that YouTube is based in United States, and therefore whatever applies to them applies to wherever you are, whoever you are. If you have anyone, even one person watching you from States, you are liable. I'm not talking about this instance, but for example, with COPA, it didn't matter and still doesn't matter where you're from. It still applies to you, even if you have one person watching you from United States. So that's something to think about. Now, my chat crashed here just now.
Oh, no. You got it back up?
Yeah, I got it back up. Booted me out, so to say, for talking.
I know that some D-bags sitting at a desk making six figures are the ones who make or break us. But what can we really do about it but play the lottery? And yeah, that's what YouTube is. It really is a lottery. I mean, we're just here trying to stack the odds. And you guys have heard me say that many times. Even when we're reviewing channels on the wheel net, I'm saying it all the time. All we're doing is trying to stack the odds the best in our favor in case luck shines its light. Your channel's ready to go. It's nothing more than that. Casey Neistat admitted himself that it was 97% luck, and he started way before a lot of other people. It's not like the platform was empty, but there's a guy that walked away after an HBO series. A lot of people don't know that Casey Neistat had a show on HBO, him and his brother, and then did some work in Hollywood, then started his channel in New York. But it was a gamble, It's got to be. You got to understand that you can do a lot. But that's the same in everything else. I mean, that's music. When I was working in a music company, I used to bring that up all the time. How many times have you walked on downtown street and heard a guy playing in a street corner that is so much more talented than anybody you've ever heard recorded? His break didn't come through. It's sad, it's true. Or his break was around and he just wasn't ready at the time. Or his mother got sick and couldn't do it. There's a million reasons why people don't get their breaks. Or their breaks don't come around at all. So, you got to enjoy YouTube's process because it's very creative. But you can still enjoy it and do something professional on here in case that comes around. Because I know channels that have 40, 50,000 that got a break, pissed it away, and they're just flopping now. And there's channels I always bring up because I think it's a great example of when the time was right. Peter McKinnon, No, he had hit 1 million. He had hit 1 million in 9 months.
Yes.
He was growing, so Casey Neistat jumped onto it. They did a collab. In 2 days, he went from a little over 1 million to 1.6 million. He almost jumped 600,000 in 2 days. But there was a channel that was ready for it. He had the content for it and that. You know, and a lot of us wish, oh my God, I wish a big channel would just shout me out. I've seen what happened to some channels that got shouted out that weren't ready for it. If a big channel shouts you out, they have a very very hardcore following. People will join. When that person says, I want you to check out this channel, I want you to join it, they're going to join it. There's no doubt about that. But are they going to stay? And that's where it falls in your lap. That's why it's so important to have your channel in good shape when you're doing it. In case that opportunity comes around, you're ready to catch it. So, thoughts on auto-tune? Oh my God. There's a lot that need it. Shmuel is a dangerous program. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Wow, some of the stuff I'm hearing.
And Albello, that's what we were talking about earlier today, that internet, especially the bigger institutions, you know, bigger corporations like Twitter, Facebook, and so on, needs a separate Bill of Rights that is independent from what we already have, just because it's unprecedented. It hasn't been really a situation like it is now on internet, you know, with such a, you know, huge amount of information interchanging by really 3-4 companies, you know. It is a public forum. It is a global effect. So we can't really treat it as a private institution, the same as somebody, I don't know, with 100 employees, you know, a private business with 100 employees basically gets compared to YouTube. It's ridiculous. it's so, it's bogus. Like it's unbelievable. It's happening.
Yeah.
You know. And now I'm not saying that it should be on the free speech, you know, always and ever, and do whatever you want. Like we talked in a chat here, some people are using it maliciously, especially lately, because internet doesn't carry any responsibility for people who are doing it. But nevertheless, there still should be some type of rules that are geared exactly for this type of platforms, because there's nothing like it. You know,
like our Bill of Rights here in Canada, a lot of people don't realize that it was only declared in 1982. It's a very young charter that we have for ourselves, equivalent basically, you know, to the states that we've been talking about. And that's what it is. So we don't technically have free speech here per se. I think we live in a very free country. It's pretty hard to say Canada's heavily controlled. I don't think it's militia owned or anything like that. But there is more closed off avenues because of that, probably most likely just because it's been so recently done. It's just was adjusted more at the times at hand. So it is hard for hate speech and things like that to get more ground because it actually goes against that bill, the bills within it. And all around the world, everybody has different variations. I mean, Xenia lived in a free country that was once a Soviet country. It is free, but it is not the same as Canada or the U.S., and it has its way of looking at it. So we can't accept one country to represent, even as big as the States is. It needs to be some sort of global reckoning of what most countries, because of course there's some countries that would take it too far and cut off free speech, where it would sit for the comfort zone to please the most amount of countries that bring the most, you know, are within a common lifestyle, per some say, and find that balance to work with it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. That's for sure. Because whatever country allows or disallows is going to hold that pretty tightly. And it's going to be very hard to consider them on easing up on one or the other. So it's not going to be a kumbaya session or anything like that.
Now, what WTF Mike says, well, how did YouTube lose its top streaming? It never had been a top streaming platform. It doesn't have streaming as its main.
No, that was Twitch.
Yeah, it is Twitch. YouTube is growing. Like it's gone from 11%, I think, of creators now are streaming to 13, something around that. But it hasn't been a top streaming platform. It's a top video hosting platform. It always have been and still is, with almost 500 videos of every hour posted.
Where YouTube deserves the big kudos on live streaming was opening up to other topics besides gaming. And no, there wasn't just gaming on Twitch, but it was gigantically predominant on the platform. I think YouTube opened it up to a whole new level of what we can do with it on a large scale. But yeah, most definitely, it's still in its infancy. I've said that many times. Like Xenia and I, when we switched it over and made the conscious choice then going into live streaming and all that, it's, where do you go with it? There's no rule book with it. Zero. And even though it's all new on here, things change so fast. Video had a heavy precedence, at least to it, to give you some foundation where to start. So, top streaming platform is DLive. Now, DLive is not...
By what?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's
by subjective opinions.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
By
There's a couple of them
numbers,
saying it, but
not.
not even a drop in the bucket in numbers when it goes down to pure numbers.
We like to stick to facts and to the original sources, and yes, it is there, but it's definitely not in the top anything. There are so many platforms out there, so many apps that are hosting your videos or live streams that you can sign up for now, and they're popping almost every day. Yes, you can go and change it if that's what you wish for. You choose the platform that works best for you, but YouTube will be the biggest platform for now.
It's just that some been running around making it sound like it's the holy grail of it all, and all the laws that's been going around in that they all have to follow the exact same laws that we've been talking about with COPA and everything else. They're not immune from it whatsoever. Sometimes when platforms are new, they give a little more leeway, but in the end, they got to conform at some point. They have no other choice, especially when a government body is over them.
Yeah, there's 5 million monthly active users, according to statistics on DLive, and 80,000 active broadcasters. And there you are, comparing it to YouTube with 2 billion viewers every month. Every month.
Yeah.
And here is 5 million on DLive. I'm just bringing you the numbers. So it's all subjective.
Yeah. And there's lots new. I mean, Linus Tech Tips of them have float plane. We can go on and on and on and on. There are microcosms all over. It doesn't mean somebody can't do good with them. I don't want to sound like there's no hope in them. It was just that some are being selling it almost, we're running with it like it's some sort of holy grail, and that's just an outright lie. That's exactly what it is. It's good to be on the frontier of something and see where it goes. But even in the 2 years we've been into it, we've been getting, oh, this one's coming out, this is a new one. You could join them, you would have 900 accounts and never get anything done because there's so many.
That means that you shouldn't be joining it. It's up to you what you choose, and if it is the right choice for you, it is. Not everybody should be on YouTube. It's up to you, and there's certain type of audience that is there, certain type of that is here. There's just so many options, and that's the beauty of it, I guess, that you can choose one. Hillbilly off-roading, changing the course of the subject, is going fantastic. On the sides of the YouTube, yes, we do our photo and video, some projects here, and of course winter is a little bit less into the wedding seasons, more of families and portraits. I'm editing a lot in winter. Edits is more than the shoots usually in winter, but I'm looking forward to spring and getting back into more of the portrait shoots.
And some corporate stuff we've told you guys about before. There's places where we can take contracts on to do editing for stuff like that. It's boring, but it's fun. I like it, but just a lot of but which is a good thing. It's good to like something that a lot of people don't like because it means more work. So
yeah,
keep hating it. I love it.
So this is our subject of today is freedom of speech on internet and on YouTube. Just remember that anything that does apply to internet or YouTube will apply to any platform as well. Like you've seen, COPA applies now to Instagram and Twitter. It applies to everywhere. It's just we talk about it here more because this is our hub. We are on YouTube, but really jumping to other platforms is not going to save you from rules because those apply to the internet as a whole. Little Murphy, hello, how are you? Do you have any other questions, Hillbilly Off-Roading? D-Crack, does YouTube honestly want you to upload like every day? Well, I wouldn't say it wants you to upload every day. It usually suggests to have at least 24 hours in between.
You got to let things breathe onto it. Like today, we usually don't do 2, but we had somebody screw their channel and thought, we're going to go on and make up the numbers, and we get accused of buying them, but we just come on more, so you get to see more of what you hate. So it was a benefit. Plus, we wanted to cover this topic, so we didn't want to take away from this afternoon. But usually we try to do one every 24 hours to get it to breathe. So it does help out a lot. And you notice there's not as much push. You're that's why some people go on like 4 or 5 times a day. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot, my friends. Whoever, it's not helping. Linus Tech Tips is a great example of that, where they do a video every 24 hours except for Friday, because they do a live stream on Twitch and then bring it over to YouTube. Then Friday afternoon they would upload a video, but that was totally, all their stuff is sponsored, but that Friday afternoon video was heavily sponsored by somebody big like Visa, etc. do that video because they know once in the evening, once they upload their live stream, their WAN show, that automatically kills the growth of the other ones. So that's why. I replied her name way wrong, and it's right there on the screen. Oh,
it's okay, WTF, fine.
She's not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing with you. I just like debating and discussing things. It's
not you. That one is just because we know some have been going around, throwing around, like literally telling people, you got to get over there. There's no other thing. It's the greatest thing, without anything to back it up. And that's not fair. I mean, if you're going to say, then when you're making those kind of claims, you back it up with something. That's all we meant. It's not you. It was just a chance to discuss it. Thank you for bringing up the topic, actually.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of great people and channels here, all thanks to what you do. So thank you so much. Jay's World, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. You don't have to do it because Jay's World joined our channel tonight, folks. That's right. He is our latest member. We're over 50 some already. It's great having you all. And there's going to be more perks coming, folks, in the very near future. We're actually thinking of doing something that's coming up this weekend to start that off as well, another edition. So we want to keep you guys happy. It helps us a lot. It's not just the money, it's the support that we get to build a platform on here for ourselves, some sort of backing, some stability in this crazy universe we call YouTube. And a lot of great people have joined already. If you haven't done it yet, folks, if you're interested, come take a look at it. I posted already. There you go. So it's up there. Just follow that link. It's not going to get you to join. We'll just show you the packages. And hope you guys had some fun with this. We'll be doing some unlisted streams as well and stuff like that. Private Facebook group. Already got custom emojis. You guys have joined so fast that we got to add more custom emojis.
Yes, so excited for that.
Yep.
D. Nicole says, I found my videos need a few days of breathing. One is not enough, or I get half as much watched. Yes, and so you have to adjust to your own channel, and be consistent is one of the best and biggest things. There was a question here, and I'm sorry if I didn't see who was it. Lasercat was asking, how has YouTube changed the most since you started?
The greed. I didn't think it could get much worse. I didn't realize the greed. If I had known the greed was so bad on here, I would have kept on moving right along. Honestly, I would have never got into YouTube. That's a downfall, and I wish I had known. But you know what? We are where we are now. But yeah, that's the greed, and I blame solely on 4K, 1K for it. I hate it so much at this point. I hate even... You notice when somebody hits 1K, I'd never talk about monetization whatsoever. We celebrate them. We give them count because it's a big event for them. They deserve their moment. They work, to get there. It's something that's just a good moment out of what can happen on here. I hate it. It was a way too low. And I'm saying that back to even when we started, because we started during the adpocalypse. So it was too low, and it just brought out... We were talking about Facebook a while ago, and that it brought all the crazies from there that used to write page-long rants come over because their friends said, "Get over here, you're going to make a lot of money." I feel like the want to make an actual show, to make an actual product on here, has fallen significantly. Like Still Winner Nation, you hear me go on and on and on about his live streams. Why? Because I'm trying to get some people to see it so they'll be inspired to put more work into what they do. Because it's just so lost. It just feels like so many things are just put up now. There is great creators, but we had to go and start handpicking and trying to get them, literally using a meta crawler, which I've shared with you guys before, to try and just because I believe there's nothing that might inspire more people to even go that route. There's some really great people in here. It doesn't mean all's lost by any sense of the word, but it's bad. It's really bad. When these two started, we were all communicating in Morse code.
Yeah, well, there are lots of things that actually changed even just in the last year. And if you look at our YouTube breaking news playlist on our homepage, just overlooking the titles of those videos, you're going to see how many changes. Evolution. The community, the content changes, the rules, the guidelines, even just talking in a plain words of the rules that you have to follow, that has changed so much. But the biggest thing I think that we sometimes go to now, since it's been 2 years since we started actively back on YouTube, you weren't able to live stream before you hit 1K.
Yep.
And now it is just with mobile. Well, back then you weren't able to live stream at all.
Yep.
And we, in fact, went live streaming for the first time as a celebration of our first 1,000. So that's the biggest thing I think that changed, because that's basically changed our YouTube channel overall as well.
That's not all of them, because we cover a lot in Tech Talk Tuesday and other stuff. just this segment that we started this fall, just to give you an idea. Look how many, and these were all big changes in YouTube. Just to put it in perspective. That started, August, September? Around there?
Yeah.
So, that just puts it in, that's a great way to see it before. Metacrawler sounds like a nursing home. Pervert, just saying. Metacrawler is for searching on any kind of, Google is a Metacrawler. Yeah, it's an interesting name. I guess it's been around. You don't hear it anymore very much. That's why it was hard to find this site. I'll show it to you. Where is it now? There we go. This is an example. This is a crawler. This is what I would use. And we'll go in and we'll search for the category, say, under autos and vehicles. I want to find channels that are from Canada. I want to have a maximum of 1,000 subscribers, say. You can pick my total views, etc. We'll say the latest video 14 days ago. And then you can even add in keywords. So if I hit search, this gives me a bunch of channels that it comes up with in Canada fitting that criteria. So I can start going through them and checking them out by category and see what they're doing. So there you go. And it's a great resource if you're into any certain niche or anything like that. This is a great way to find people in your niche, and you can do it by country. And yeah, the cat's out of the bag. You see, when they bought you, they start all the bot views come from channels that have a low CPM rate, India, etc. That's a way of trying to devalue your channel. So all I did, or we did, I should say, went in there and started looking under countries to boost up the other ones. Like we boosted up Australia a lot. It was a lot of work, but that's what kept us from losing our channel value. So they actually enticed us through doing it. And I don't want to say, because then they're dumb as a post and would actually consider that they were helping us, because you can't cure stupid. It actually helped us get better people on our channel. Widely Intrepid Sailing is one that I remember quite well that came in, and many others that we got to come to our channel and actually got a lot of better creators coming in, which inspired other great creators to come in and change the whole dynamic. Because after 10K, we were building out quickly because we wanted to get there before the numbers rounded off. For rightfully so, we had to. Because it was important that the changes would bring. We knew it would be a lot harder once the numbers were rounded. But then we had to do some kind of cleaning up after and distancing ourselves from certain channels and stuff like that and everything else altogether. Going out and finding new channels like this, and it really did help out a lot. Oh, no problem, JDS. Here, let me put the link in the chat for you guys. Everybody's, I thought of that one time, the ones that compete with us, some of them, I figured, I better not show that, or they'll start using it. I thought, you know what, they like the fast route anyways. They're not going to bother with it, so it's not really helping them. So there you go, folks. There's the link right there. There you go, folks. If you want to check it out, there's a channel crawler right there for your convenience.
YouTube used to have this option where you could actually filter what size of the channels you wanted to search for. It doesn't have it anymore, unfortunately. So it kind of replaces the way filtering used to work before. Yeah.
And use it for your niches, whatever you're into. You can at least find people and look at your analytics. And if you find New Zealand is on the way up, but it's not quite there in your top 4 or 5, for instance, use that to start meeting channels from New Zealand that are interested in what you do. It's great to have a wide variety of viewers, yes, but it's great to build up on that core as well, and that's a great way to do it right there. It really does. A lot of the biker guys are in here, and I don't want to say biker community. They're not bikers, not Hell's Angels, but are bike enthusiasts. I mean, that's how I met a lot of them. It all started off with Viper and those guys that were Canadian biker channels that I found in there through the auto ones. And then once I got to know them, I got to meet other channels in that group and that. And Prairie Boy 77 and all those guys, which then I went back, they led me into people from all over the world. And I had no idea about the crawler. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I think they can handle the Love Earl.
We like a good discussion, and questions are always there to have this discussion. That's why we said an open discussion today. We accept all different kind of opinions. That's what this all is about, to hear each other, because there are so many opinions. It's like so many people on the platform, so many opinions. It's good to get in touch and close in touch with those. I'm
going to go one further. I'm going to go real again. I'm going to tell you exactly. I guess tonight's the night of just telling all these things as they are. This is a great welcome. I don't even know if you know that, Mike. It is. Because I mean, honestly, when we talk about changing what's going on here and what it was like and I had to know, the level of, honestly, this sounds snobby, I don't mean it to be, the level of pointless stupidity that goes on here when people could actually having real discussions is disgusting. And as we grew up in the channel, that was what we were hoping all the time. Juliet Miranda and David the producer are fantastic examples of people we wanted to meet when we were on here. That it's not, oh, we're buddies in Pinky Square and blah, 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 blah. It's actually talking about YouTube as like business. We're not cold. We get along. We're friends. We don't hug each other every day, but they're there if we need them. We're here if they need us. And we talk about these things all the time. You know, what's going on with it. This Metacrawler we discussed months ago. Most people don't even want to hear that when it's up. That's why I said, I don't worry, like, you know, oh, well, if your competitors get this started. Most of them don't even want to be bothered with that. They just want people to come in. They just want them to come in, and that's it. That's all. It takes a lot of work to build something decent. And yes, we get ours played around with. But in the end, looking through all of it, I still think we can put out a decent product through it all. And that's what we enjoy about it. And you should enjoy about it. Is discussing it. It would be like mono railroads are such a good example of what it's like to be YouTubers because they do so many things besides just watch the train go around the track. And that's what YouTube is like. There's so many things that go into being a YouTuber besides uploading a content or having a live stream. And you got to enjoy those parts. And it's so nice to have a conversation with people. Even if you don't agree, that's fine. At least it's an on-topic, sensible discussion. And it feels like it's so rare on here. Such a rare commodity. You hear so much blah, 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 blah of pointless dribble that has nothing to do with this platform. And to me, it's a smokescreen for not wanting to learn about it, to not be bothered about it. That's on I might be way off. That's just my humble opinion of on the outside looking in. That's what I see it as. You know, we learned OBS, we taught ourselves, you know, we're no expert into it. People say, no, Andrew, you should get, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to go and tell somebody they should do this and that exactly when I know it for myself. But we took it upon ourselves. We didn't know OBS. Once we got our updated fiber optic connection ran through here, we adjusted accordingly to what we had to do. I didn't know how to run a studio, set it up, mix it more camera and all that stuff. Learned as we went. Made tons of mistakes, but at least you're trying to do stuff. Why do we always say we love Tech Talk Tuesday so much? Because you know what? It's about the one night of the week where it seems like the people, it's not as big a draw as the other ones. We know that. But it's the one night of the week where we really talk mostly just about YouTube. And we absolutely love that part. We really do. And we're constantly listening in to you guys to see what we're missing, what we need to learn, what we may have gotten wrong on here. That should be fun part of it. And I just don't get it sometimes. I just don't get it. Where there's people that have, especially channels, there's so many came in here with good intentions of doing something good on here. And they just get discouraged too easy. And that's what really sucks. Like, I'm not going to make millions when I hit 1K. You're making it sound like, well, this work. It should be work. It should be fun work. You know, a farmer, you know all about it. You know, it's not just taking the cattle to market. There's a million things to do before they get there. This is the same thing. Same process. Just, you're not knee deep in cow shit, but you're getting it done nonetheless. Well, maybe not the cow, but there's lots of bull. But nonetheless, same principle. You know? So, just something to think about, folks. It really is. If people spent less time worrying about... to me, it's like you're about to go up and jump off the diving board. And you're standing there with your friend and you sit there and gab about everything else but going up on the diving board to keep yourself from doing it. Why waste time in all that? Get up on the diving board and start worrying about that. Start gabbing to the instructor how you're supposed to jump on that. Then at least you're doing something that's going to help you move forward than just sitting there and just rotting away on here. Just for the life of me, I'll never understand it. That's something like, maybe I'm missing something on here that hasn't been shown to me yet to make that all make sense. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And somebody else didn't get it because they just took away a bunch of views from us. Literally, we dropped down 35 views as I said that. It's like a gigantic slant. Well, there you go. All right. And I don't think it was everybody leaving. Not that I can be interesting. I get where people get tired of me talking sometimes. But yeah. Oh, the joys. Talk about heaven, not focusing on your own stuff. But nonetheless, I digress. Don't worry, I won't go into an hour-long one.
Could do a separate live stream on that one.
Yes, exactly.
You're going to get fed up of us here,
Yeah.
popping up every day, twice a day.
I'm getting fed up of it.
Yeah.
We are, folks. Like we said, we have no other choice, folks. They're taking the numbers away from us like that. They want to screw it. We have to go on more. That's all we can do to keep our channel in good standing. They better off leaving us alone, and they wouldn't have to see us as much. Oh my God, the salon guy is in the house.
Ah.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Past guest of ours. How are you? There's a guy that we met in a great place. There he is, folks. He just 670,000 subscribers. He
Love
is
seeing you.
killing it. Great to see you. Great to see you. We met in a Gary V live stream. There's an example of people pissing away time, and I hate bringing it up every time he's in here. It was just this guy comes in with a check mark by his name. Anybody who's been on YouTube long enough should know they're at least over 100K, well, especially under the news system. But nonetheless, they've been around. So I check him out, and I see he's doing all these great things, so I start talking to him. Nobody else did. They were too busy quoting off old Gary V quotes for the last 3 hours. It was the most painful thing I ever sat through. I like Gary V, but I was thinking if Gary V was here right now, he would not be doing this. So we got talking, and the next thing you know, the salon guy came on a couple weeks later. He had a new book, wanted to promote it. We were doing interviews, and he didn't just blow us off, which meant a lot because we weren't, well, we're still not that big, but nonetheless, we were a lot smaller than we are now. And it's always a pleasure to have you in here, guys. The salon guy, fantastic to see you.
Thank you for coming in here. By the way, I just
David,
added...
the producer in the house. There's
we're
the
just
man.
talking about you.
Were your ears burning? We were just talking about you bragging you and Juliet up.
Yeah, guys. I just added all the resource informations down below in the description. So if you are wanting to dive deeper into the investigation of the court ruling from yesterday, the full PDF of the court ruling is available down below in the description, as well as the live stream that we mentioned down below, as well as Reclaim the Net link, and our article from censorship on internet on Medium that you can read through as well. So all that is down below in description, so you can dive into that and then come back and leave a comment on this live stream after it uploads on topic. We would like to hear what you think.
Most definitely, guys. And thank you for the great conversation tonight. You know, that's what I mean. We really do enjoy this. I actually thought it was a great night.
Yep. I
enjoyed all the questions, stuff like that. Varied opinions on that. Everybody was there's a big part of it. Everybody was respectful to each other. And what else could you ask for than that? Loved it.
That's
I love
right.
hearing about me.
Who doesn't, right?
That's right. David. Oh my God. Guys, you got to check out Juliet Miranda. We were sharing her link, guys. You have to check her out, folks. We were on there on Monday night. Battle of the Newlyweds with them. They were gracious. They let us win, even though they had fantastic answers. So, and we're definitely going to be doing that again. And if you don't know, Juliet Miranda is one of the top 200 podcasters on iTunes. She has had amazing stars. They've helped us a lot to get guests, guys, like Michael Price from The Simpsons. And I'm drawing a blank right now because I'm having a brain fart. They've helped us out a lot. Can you help me?
Jameson.
Don Jameson.
Yeah.
Don Jameson, that's right, from from VH1 and Inside the NFL on HBO. She's even had guest guys like Mike Rowe and stuff like that.
Well, and
Fantastic.
just recently we're on her channel
Yes, big
doing
ones like us,
a
Mike Rowe,
couple
us.
throwdown, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna gloat on this, but we won.
That's right, folks. Repeating everything I just said 2 minutes ago. That's what the wife is there
Well, I
for.
just wanted to say that I'm not gloating on it, so I wanted to repeat it over and over. We won. Just say.
They gave it to us.
Yeah, I know.
Big
I
time.
know, I
That
know.
bacon answer come up, and I'm like,
Yeah, I was ready to give up right then, right
yep,
there.
that's right. I laid down passing the mic and said, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
So if after this serious conversation topic you want a little bit of laugh,
Yes.
it's a really hilarious live stream between us, Juliet and David, and Healers and Heathens. They were our hosts.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And they were fantastic. They
Oh,
did a
yeah.
fantastic job.
Yeah.
They were absolutely amazing. Not likely. Not
Yeah.
likely, David.
I learned a lot about Andrew. A lot of things that I wish I wouldn't.
Oh my God almighty. It was a lot of fun. And folks, there you go once again, folks. I know we've been pushing a lot. Today is our first week. We just launched it last Thursday night. Membership, folks, that is helping us to build new things on our channel and that. We've got so many members already. We're going to have to create new emojis this weekend. We're already at the point where we have enough to do that. We're over 50 some and looking for more. There's Jenny O'Brien sporting the thumbnails, the emojis. We're also going to have unlisted live streams, a closed Facebook group, all that good stuff. Pixel P is here as well. She's also a member. She joined the first night. So great to have you in here. So there you go, folks. If you haven't checked it out, just click on that link. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun in there. A lot more things to come as well. We're just getting used to it too. But it's a new chapter in our channel. It gives us a chance to do things that we couldn't do before. And to feel like we have more of a foundation on here. It really does help out a lot. So
that's right. If you want to know what we talked about today, you always can hit that replay. It's available on replay right now, this minute. You can actually put it back and watch what we talked about. I will put the timestamp down below once it uploads, so then when you come back, you can click on the exact time when we start talking about the topic.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for being here. A ton of love to you all. Thank you for the great conversation. Thank you for making us look good by having such a great conversation with everybody. Oh, who's this?
D.E. Nichols.
Oh.
D.E. Nichols is, yes, D.E. Nichols, you just got wrenched up.
There you go, folks. D. Nichols, our latest member to our Pusa pack. Thank you so much for joining, D. Nichols. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing time. Great to have you aboard. Like I say, there's going to be more perks coming in the near future. Tonight is only the first week, so we're still getting them all ready. But I think it's going to be a great hang. It will also let us get to talk more candidly with you guys as well. Stuff we can't do on YouTube, more relaxed, unlisted streams where we can just hang out more. And as we say too, we might be working on thumbnails. We'll just turn on the camera, hang out with you guys and talk about that process as we're doing it, or doing tags for a show or whatnot.
You see, the members only live stream doesn't affect directly the algorithm. So we can have 3 people in the live stream and still be well.
Yeah, exactly.
And, so therefore, we're definitely going to be trying to do more and more of those with you guys.
We're even hoping sometimes to... you will have a PayPal up for the channel, Hillbilly Off-Roading. Yes, we do. It's on our About section. You can find it.
Yeah, we don't really advertise it, but it's there if you want to use it, since, yes, it doesn't take a cut.
Definitely, yes, for sure. Well, thank you very much for inquiring about that. Jim Apple, looks like I missed your show tonight. No, you don't have to apologize. We weren't supposed to be on anyways. You know the rules. You never apologize. Anytime you can make it or choose to make it, you're always welcomed. It's us that are thanking you for that. You're the one doing us a favor, not vice versa. You never have to apologize.
UGP Vlogs, a really great channel.
There, D. Nicholas trying out the emojis. There you go. First time with them. There you go. And he went with the Andrew one, the Andrew plug in his ears one. I just want to say for the record.
For now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to welcome UGP Vlogs here and Ricky. And
nice.
It looks like a really great channel. I'm looking forward to check it out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice thumbnails.
Yes, UGP Vlogs. Love it.
And Pixel Pia says, I don't want to be in a pack and polygamous marriage. What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, well, too late now.
Oh, my God. Jim Apple, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. It's just great to see you. No worries whatsoever. But, folks, we do have to take off, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be good to each other and just enjoy the platform, folks. Don't... bring out the best into it. Just keep doing that, and you're already doing your part. Had an idea of an emoji where one of you gives a cheesy thumbs up or serious, your choice.
You're more than welcome to get in touch with us. We do have only members community posts as well, so go to community posts and you're going to be able to see some of that just for you.
That's right, and the private Facebook group is coming ASAP, and we'll all be able to chat in there as well. So
up to the work, grinding forever.
Take care for now, my friends. Be well. Thank you so much for being here, and have a fantastic night. It's always great spending time with you.